Are you working harder than ever for the exact same pay? Or is AI actually making you better at your job? Let's cut the fluff and look at the hard data on what is really happening inside the tech workforce right now.
Today, we're extracting the hardcore data from a massive 6,000-person tech sentiment survey conducted by research leader Noam Segal. We're going to find out exactly how this industry is quietly splitting right down the middle. Zero fluff, just the numbers. Let's get right into it. So, the biggest takeaway from this massive data set is a really stark bifurcation of the workforce. When folks were asked how AI has shifted their professional identity, get this, only 3% reported no shift at all. Exactly half, 50% of people, feel amplified. They're energized. They're capable of doing way more. But that other half, they are fracturing. 27% say their roles are being redefined, but they honestly have no clue what that actually means yet. A pretty concerning 14% feel destabilized, basically experiencing high anxiety as the ground literally shifts beneath them. And for 5%, they feel outright diminished, like AI has permanently stripped away their unique superpowers. Now, these shifting identities are actively manifesting into 4 distinct emotional archetypes across the entire industry. By analyzing up to 13 different emotions selected by respondents, the data gave us this exact breakdown. 41% are the energized tech workers. These are the excited builders who feel like they're playing in a giant tech amusement park right now. Then you have 35% who are conflicted. This is the ambivalent middle. They're having the most fun they've ever had, sure, but they're completely paralyzed by the uncertainty of their future. Next, 12% are disoriented. They liken themselves to farmers on the absolute cusp of the Industrial Revolution, just unable to see a clear path forward. And the final 12%, they are resentful. They feel pressured, totally checked out, and basically forced to use AI against their will. And all of this data paints a vivid picture of the macro-level squeeze happening right now. Year over year, we are seeing a massive surge in severe burnout. Listen to this. Significant burnout jumped a full 10 points, going from 44.7% straight up to 54.7%. That means more than half the industry is significantly burnt out. At the exact same time, career optimism dropped from 54.8% down to 48.7%. So we're shipping faster than ever, absolutely. But it is taking a massive toll on the workforce's overall energy and outlook. Okay, the most striking number here, the one that really jumps out, is 72%. That is the precise percentage of the sample that is currently worried about being laid off to some extent. And when you dig a little deeper into the data, 41.2% are at least moderately worried. The fear of companies just going all in on AI agents and aggressively pushing out human workers is highly pervasive, and it's contributing directly to that massive burnout spike we just talked about. So what does this all mean for the future of these professions? Well, using the Net Promoter Score, or NPS, which, as you know, ranges from -100 to +100, the survey asked a simple question. Would you recommend your role to someone entering the industry? The result? 0 promoters. Literally 0. Not a single person is currently a promoter of their role. On side A, we have the cohorts who are the least unlikely to recommend their jobs: founders, sales and go-to-market folks, and product managers. But over on side B, designers and researchers are aggressively warning juniors to stay far away. They are exhibiting the absolute highest levels of feeling destabilized and diminished. And that brings us to this bizarre kind of wild paradox in the data. While many workers report that they're personally enjoying their daily work and achieving things they never thought possible, they absolutely refuse to recommend their career path to others. One respondent actually hit the nail on the head and perfectly summarized it, quote, "The water's kind of okay, but you shouldn't come into these tech waters," unquote. Basically, they feel like the rungs of the career ladder are being ripped right out from under them. But wait a second, isn't AI supposed to be making everyone vastly superior at their jobs? Well, let's look at the numbers. A staggering 97.2% of workers state that AI is, in fact, making them better. To break that down specifically, 48.5% say it makes them moderately better, and 48.7% say extremely better. Only 2.8% reported no change at all. But as we start to dig into what better actually means to these workers, the data takes a surprisingly dark turn. "My brain is rotting. My work feels worse." This exact quote from the survey perfectly unpacks what we're calling the cognitive rot paradox. Yes, AI has lowered the floor, definitely allowing workers to do significantly more, much faster, but it's not resulting in higher quality. Instead, workers are aggressively offloading their independent thinking and their core judgment to language models. They're producing way more volume, sure, but their self-efficacy, their mental sharpness, and the actual foundational quality of their output are taking a severe hit. It really begs the question, are you offloading your core judgment? Now, let's dive into what people are actually terrified of. You'd probably think with all this incredible AI advancement that obsolescence is the top fear, right? Actually, no. Losing a job to AI is ranked second to last on the list of workforce fears. The number one fear, the expectation to do more for the exact same pay. Number two is that the pace of work and that relentless pace of having to learn new AI frameworks is becoming completely unsustainable. The immense pressure of constant, accelerating output completely outweighs the fear of algorithmic replacement. And this specific statement just brilliantly illustrates exactly why that fear exists. Quote, "The speed AI unlocked got plowed straight back into expectations. Every single productivity gain you achieve with AI immediately transforms into an exhausting new baseline. You aren't getting more free time to relax, you're just being handed higher targets, and it is leaving workers running completely out of room to breathe." Now, it's important to note this exhaustion isn't distributed evenly across the industry. If we look at the exact extremes of the burnout spectrum, there's a strict linear correlation between company size and outright misery. On side A, workers at 1 to 10 person startups report the highest career optimism and the absolute lowest levels of burnout. But on side B, workers at 5,000 to 10,000 person enterprises report the exact opposite, the lowest optimism and the highest burnout. Literally, as the company size scales up, so does the sheer exhaustion. So what's the fix? The single biggest lever companies have to solve this crisis is management. But man, the data here is incredibly grim. Only 25% of the survey sample rate their managers as highly effective. Meanwhile, a massive 36% rate their managers as completely ineffective. The data strongly correlates highly effective managers with drastically lower burnout and 65% higher job enjoyment. Yet only a quarter of the workforce is actually getting that level of support. Okay, understanding this total picture is absolutely crucial. Let's do a rapid-fire core review of all the hard facts we just unpacked. Burnout has surged to a whopping 54.7%. Career optimism dropped to 48.7%. A massive 72% of the workforce is carrying layoff worry. 97.2% are using AI to go faster, but only 25% have highly effective managers to actually help them navigate the resulting squeeze. Which brings us to today's actionable takeaway. If you want to survive the current tech workforce squeeze, you cannot be a broad generalist who just blindly delegates all their thinking to AI. You need to protect your baseline by deeply mastering a few specific AI workflows rather than broadly offloading your core judgment. Hold on to your sharpest skills, be the expert in the room, and let the tools handle the sheer volume. I genuinely want to hear your take on this. Regarding that AI cognitive rot effect we unpacked today, do you think offloading your thinking to a large language model is a genius efficiency hack that frees you up? Or is it a dangerous trap that permanently ruins your core skills? What's your reason? I know there's going to be a hardcore debate on this one. Drop your argument down below. Leave a comment right now to get the exact tool list and the complete survey mind map sent directly to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.